We lived out in the country between Fayetteville and Springdale. It was a rather idyllic growing up. I went to John Brown University. I graduated with a degree in radio and television. I soon came to recognize it was not really my thing to do. And I had an epiphany one week where I sat and really tried to think, what is it that I wanted to accomplish? I felt strongly that my personal growth with God was the number one thing. The second thing, my family. And third thing, my country. I had not the vaguest idea what to do. How do you get involved politically? Well, I thankfully got an invitation in the mail to go to a meeting down at Winrock Farms with the Southern Republican women. There was a lady from Tennessee, and she says, well, honey, just volunteer for anything, and I guarantee you'll get a job. That's what I did, and here I am now. I really began to learn how someone becomes involved in politics. There was a lady in Fort Smith. She was telling me about 3 kids in kind of a bad part of town. She said they really need some help. And they were just filthy dirty. They were all sleeping in one bed on the floor. It was not a good situation. So I started kind of watching out for them a little bit, take them to Sunday school. I needed to do something, and I could only do it if I was changing some laws. I'm going to run for House of Representatives. There was a group that had formed for juvenile justice, and they asked me to join it, and I did. I could see there's some real holes in the system of how people were dealt with, in particular kids going through courts without a judicial person there, foster kids coming into the system, abused kids who couldn't stay in school. They might have some learning problems that they had never been diagnosed. I was able to bring a lot of those problems together because they all work together. I talked to them about doing a children's committee, and we didn't have a children's committee at all. The speaker asked me, even as a woman, to chair it. That was huge for me, to give some directions on how do we get the kid that we love so much through school. How do we get them out of abused situations? We had a lot of growing to do. I think my confidence came when the Speaker of the House selected me as a co-speaker. It takes courage to build up the credibility. I was willing to say things. I poured a lot of what I learned into making the changes in legislative. Abusing a child is a crime. So it took me a long time to drag that particular thing, the child abuse reporting, out of the human services and put it under the state police. If you make a call in, you think a child may be being abused, that's going to go to the state police now. I was in legislature 24 years. I served with 5 governors, and they give me the credibility to go ahead and make some changes. One of the greatest things I learned in the legislature was you have to depend on a lot of people for their wisdom, not just yourself. Remember, if you run for office, you're a servant of the people. Be prepared to do things that you never thought you were going to do. When they came and told me that I have gotten this award, that was magical to me. I think it's wonderful. A huge validation of my work. Not just validation from me, but validation for the projects I served on, particularly for the children. I can see lives has changed, and I'm very proud of that.